Alright, so today we're going to talk about 4.2, solving inequalities using addition or subtraction. Alright, so solving an inequality, graph the solution. So solving an inequality is just like solving an equation when it comes to addition or subtraction. So your first step is draw a line down that equal / your greater than, less than, or equal to, greater than, equal to line. Okay, then I want to get y by itself. To get y by itself, I have a -3, so the opposite of minusing or subtracting 3 is adding 3, so I add 3 to both sides. Those cancel out, you get y. It's a -12, +3, opposite signs we subtract, so we get 9. And then 12 is bigger than 3, so we keep that negative. And then we drop down that sign. So my answer, solving the inequality, is y is greater than or equal to -9. You can go ahead and check that if you want. You can put -9 in for y, and it should work out, okay? Then, from there, we're going to graph it just like before. So, -9, -8, -7, -6, all the way through. Okay, this is closed circle because of that equal sign, so closed circle on -9. Then we decide which way we can do. Since y is on the left side, we can use our arrow trick. So if this is here, it's going to go that way, okay? If you don't like the arrow trick, we can always pick. So -7 is on this side. -7 is greater than or equal to -9. That is true. So yes, this way. And then if you pick any number over here, it would be no. Okay, all right, moving on. So we do the same thing. We draw a line down the equal sign. I want to get x by itself. This is a +8, so I got to subtract 8. Subtract 8. These are same signs, so these cancel out. You get left with x here. Same signs you combine, so 14 plus 8 is 22. You keep the sign. We drop down the inequality sign, okay, and you get -22 is less than or equal to x. Okay, so here we cannot just draw the arrow, okay? So -22, -21. Oops, this is 19. 23, 24. Alright, so first of all, we talk about open or closed circle. It would be closed because it has the line underneath, so it's closed on -22. Then to decide which way, you cannot use the arrow rule because x is on the right side, so you cannot use the arrow rule. You could technically rewrite this if you would like, if that makes sense. So it's eating x, so if I wanted to, I could rewrite this, and it still is eating x. And then you can use the arrow rule as long as the variable is on the right. If you don't like that, we can go ahead and we can pick, so I'm going to pick -20 over here. I go -22 is less than or equal to -20. Is that true? Yes, right? So once I get a yes, I go that way. Okay, guys did some of this in last year. So number 3, we go ahead, draw our line. We want to get t by itself. So I'm going to add 4 here, add 4 here. These cancel out, you get t, and then -4, +4, opposite signs we subtract, so we get 0, and you drop down that sign. So t is less than 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. Okay, no equal sign, so we're going to have an open circle on 0. And then we can use the arrow rule, and we should, so if we use the arrow rule, here's that sign, it's going to go this way because t is on the left. Or we can pick a number. So if I pick 1, 1 is less than 0. Is that true? No. So since it's no, you go the opposite way. Okay. Number 4, same thing. We draw a line down the inequality sign. That's a +2, so I'm going to subtract 2. Subtract 2 over here. These cancel out. You get left with d over here. -9, -2, same signs we combine. So 11, negative, and then we drop down the sign. So I have -11 is greater than or equal to d, and then we go ahead and we can use that. We go ahead -11, -12, -13, 14. Okay, then we have to decide, okay, it has an equal sign underneath it, or that line underneath it, so it's closed circle on that -11. And then we decide which way. D is on the right side, so we can't use our trick unless we rewrite it, which would be fine. But since we can't use our trick, I'm just going to try -9. So -11 is greater than or equal to -9. Is -11 greater than -9? No. So it can't go this way, so it has to go the opposite way. Okay. Number 5. We draw our line. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. Okay, we want to get C by itself. So we add 1.2. We add 1.2. These cancel out. You get C here. And then these are opposite signs. One's a negative, one's a positive. So I'm going to subtract them. 3.4 minus 1.2. You get 2.2. And negative 3.4 is bigger than 1.2. So you get negative 2.2. We still drop down that sign. So I have negative 2.2 is greater than C. So let's go by tenths. So I'm going to do negative 2.2, negative 2.3, negative 2.4, negative 2.5, negative 2.1, negative 2. Okay, we are going to be open circle because there's no equal sign underneath. So open circle on 2.2, negative 2.2. Now the C is on this side. So you can technically rewrite it like this. Okay. Or if you don't understand that, that's absolutely fine. If we can't rewrite it that way, we can go ahead and check. So I'm going to pick 2, so negative 2. I'm going to check. Negative 2.2 is greater than negative 2. Is that true? No, that is not true. When it comes to negatives, the number closer to 0 is bigger. So negative 2 would be bigger than negative 2.2, so we go to the other way. Okay? Alright, moving on. Draw our line. This is J. Go ahead and try it by yourself and then play the video again. Okay, you're going to subtract 5/12 from this side, subtract 5/12 from this side. These cancel out. You get J over here. Okay, so these are the same signs, so you combine, but in order to add 3/4 plus 5/12, we have to get a common denominator. My common denominator is 12. So this stays 5/12. Okay, this we have to times by 3. What we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. So we get 9 over 12. We add 9 plus 5 is 14. So we have 14 over 12. And same signs, you keep the sign. So this would be a negative 14 over 12. And we drop down that less than. So I have J is less than negative 14 twelfths. Okay, let's go ahead and reduce this just to make it a little easier. So I'm going to divide by 2. Divide by 2. So this becomes negative 7/6. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and count by 6 sixes. So I know I need to go negative 7/6 here. So it's going to be negative 8/6, 9/6. You can reduce these if you would like. Negative 6/6, negative 6/6 would just be negative 1, right? So I'm just going to put negative 1 here. And then this would be negative 5/6, negative 4/6, which is the same thing as negative 2/3 if you would like to. Okay, so looking at the sign, it's going to be an open circle on negative 7/6. And then to the side, J is on the left, so I can use my arrow rule, so it's going to go that way. Okay, all right. Moving on, last question. 7. A bounce house can hold 15 children. 7 children go in the bounce house. Write and solve the inequality that represents the additional number of children that can go into the number. So 15 can hold. So that is the max. So it can hold 15. So that would be greater. So 15 is the greatest it can hold, though. So we want to eat the 15. Okay. We don't know how many kids can go in, but I know 7 already are there. So we know there's 7. We're going to add a couple more, but we want to know how many we can add in total. So x plus 7 gives me the total number of kids that are in there. Okay, so then we go ahead and we draw our line. We minus 7, minus 7. These cancel out. You get x. And then 8 over here because 15 minus 7 is 8. We drop down the sign. So my real answer is x is less than or equal to 8. And it's children. So I'm going to label it. And there is your answer for that. All right, that is 4.2.